Hey, hello, hello. Is this thing on? Hi, everybody. My name's Joseph Earl McPeak. And unfortunately, they should not have let me up in this mug because I have figured out every single thing. Now, let me tell you how. Much like the piano, knock on wood, once I gained a deeper understanding of the physical mechanics of this, or actually, it's this. That note is C major, or just call it C, but you don't even need to call it anything. All you know is that it is a frequency that has been there reliably for 300 years. I could be wrong about that. But it will be there for 300 more, 3,000 more, 30,000 more. For as long as there's a human civilization, this C note, this frequency will always be constant. Its frequency is called an interval. Okay? You see that green line? You see my finger? Okay, watch this. Wait. Okay. Do you see how it propagates down the line when I move? Do you see how it propagates? Now, there's not much delay there, is there? No. No. So, what are you dealing with, Joe? Well, you're dealing with something ancient. You're dealing with something with how the brain works. And if you look at the patterns, okay, what I'm going to do now is simply scale. I'm not going to move. I'm going to scale. Now watch what happens when you scale. Something totally new and different, right? So, here's my main point. My main point is your brain will create patterns inside of itself because that's what it's conditioned to do. Your brain is wired on a pleasure and pain principle that the human will always be motivated more to hold on, let me think. Frodo Glass, Lord of the Rings. The human will always be motivated more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure. Okay? So remember that, folks. The pleasure pain principle. The pleasure. Oh, I'm sorry. We got this. No worries. The pleasure pain principle means that you will run from pain more than you will try to get to the pleasure. So you're conditioned that way, okay? Now, look at this. If you look at it while it's moving, you might imagine that it's a hole, like a tunnel, like you're driving down a tunnel. Okay, so the more I move it, the more curvy it looks, but you and I know there's no curves there. They're all straight lines. So Joe, when you move it and it looks curvy, here, look. Hold on, let me show you something else. Right now, your eyes and brain and ears are making hundreds of thousands of visual cortex calculations in real time. That's Your eyes eating up all of that visual information um, in 4K and hold on. Now, imagine this. That could be a video game. But it's not real, it's super fake. Okay? Everything we do here is super fake. Now, your brain's like, well, Joe, if you look at it the other way, it kind of looks like you're standing on top of the pyramids looking down at the desert. Yeah, you could say that too. Um, but it's all in how you look at it and stuff. So I'm going to try to help you out and make you understand how this all works, okay? They call me Joe Future. I am the future producer. No, actually, I'm from the future and I'm coming back to tell you that you don't need Pro Tools. No, that's a headache. Pro Tools takes sometimes a minute to load up. I don't have a minute to waste. My time is gold. My way's the better way. I'm just saying, there's no doubt about it. There's no need to debate me. There's no need to second guess me. My way is the best way. I know it is. My producer name is Joe Future, and I'm from the future. I'm telling you right now, you don't need Pro Tools. What do you need, Joe? Well, this is called OBS, right? I use OBS as a window to the audio realm called Romperland, not Romper. That means plural. Rompural. What do you mean, Joe? Well, it's like Romper Room. It's just like Romper Room, I'm telling you. Okay? Now, what do you mean, Joe? Your work is play? Exactly. Then what are you doing there, Joe? What is the job of a producer, Joe? Well, let me tell you something. Now it's nothing. The job of the producer has become invisible. Why? Because of this very fact. I don't use Pro Tools. I don't use plugins. Let me turn this up. I don't use Pro Tools. I don't use plugins. I don't use inserts. I don't use buses. I don't use auxiliaries. I don't use virtual instruments. I don't use monitoring. I don't use a live cue system. I don't hear the effects. I don't hear the reverb. I don't hear the delay. And I don't listen for any changes that I make. Because that's all relative to me. To me, it's relative. To it, Romperland, it is reality. It is not reality. It is super fake. It is realer than real. Now remember that. Super fake equals realer than real. You're like, what? Joe? It's better than Milli Vanilli. It's Milli Vanilli winning the Grammys again. But this time they let it slide. Okay? In fact, it's the new Wrecking Crew. Romperland is the new Wrecking Crew. What is a Wrecking Crew, Joe? Well, it was a old time speak for, and we're going to come back right after this. It was an old time speak for, we will play on all the records, the Monkees, the Beach Boys, everybody except the Beatles. The Beatles played their own instruments, but everybody else, we're talking the Turtles, the T-Bones, the Motown, all the Motown, all the I'm telling you guys, you don't know how it was. They had their own romper land, which means it was super fake, which means they would assemble artists, but the wrecking crew would play the bass, they would play the drums, they would have that super producer, what was his name? God, I can't remember his name. You know the super producer, you know the guy, the Wall of Sound. Oh yeah, Phil Spector. See, I remembered his name because I remembered his sound. I have my own sound now. It's called the Joe Future sound. Okay? Watch out for it.